So what do I? So what do I focus on? What are my priorities to manage myself, at least in the beginning?
Okay, I'm so sorry. So you're an artist, you're self-managed, you do a lot on your own, and just say the question part.
With festivals and venues, I'm trying to connect with people in the industry, but it's so hard and it has been years. So I want to know, what do I focus on so I can like do my managing myself for now.
Okay, Nikisa, just help me with the last sentence because it's a little.
She wants to know what part she should be focused on as someone who's self-managed when she has to do every aspect herself, like create the music, reach out to venues, create with the producers, like what part should she be focused? What's most important and a priority? And managing, like what's a priority with that hat on? The artist as the manager.
The priority is getting that music together because that's your product. I mean, if you have no, product to present, then that's kind of beats the point. So the first is making great music. We tell everybody, a hit record changes everything. If you can go in and create a hit record, that's what you should be focusing on. But you should be focusing on the music, creating the sound that you're looking to present. Let me ask you, do you play instruments?
I don't. I'm a singer-songwriter and composer.
Okay. So you're working then with a team of others that are creating the music around you.
Yes, I'm trying to learn how to produce now so I can create the whole audio myself. But what's next? Like playing my own, I have my own set, but it's so hard to book a venue, to go to festivals. I don't know how to reach out to these venues.
All right. Well, again, I still say you got to create the music. Try to find a producer that can fit your aesthetic. Sometimes that one producer that kind of can lock in with you and say, let's build this project, this body of work together. If it's multiple producers, that's fine too. But locking in with that one producer that can help you build a sound, and then and that may take a year, 6 months, whatever that time is. You got to give it time. Artists say, tomorrow. Well, everything isn't going to be tomorrow. You gotta let it build and grow and have some patience. And perfection takes time. And when that music is ready, you will know when that music is ready. And then you will present it to these promoters or whomever, and they'll be on the same page with you. So music first, reaching out to venues and such, comes behind. But while you're creating the music though, be strategizing again on the brand building and the marketing. Because now once you have the music, you have to decide outside of touring, how are you going to get it out there? And there are so many tools now. There's so many ways. So, like content creation is king. So think of that simultaneously while you're making the music.
Thank you so much.
And that's so important too. Working with artists on the A&R side, like every song is not going to be the song. Like being an artist is practice. You have to continually write, continually work with new collaborators to really find that sound that can take years to develop. So don't be discouraged if 1 year, 2 years, you're still looking for your sound. That's very common. Some artists take 5, 6, 7, even 10 years. I think in the US recently, we're seeing a lot of artists who have been doing this for so long, finally having their moment after they've been working in the music industry for nearly a decade.
Absolutely.
Hello, I'm Sandra. It's an honor to speak to you. And my question to you would be, for me myself, I would like to make it globally eventually as an artist. As an artist manager, is it a good thing if I approach you and I tell you I can do so many things? I can play instruments, I can do I can dance, or is it better to just have the one thing that you mentioned?
For me personally, and I think that most will agree with this, it's music to our ears to hear an artist that can do one thing. Please be able to write. please be able to play an instrument if you're you know, so inclined. You know, that doesn't take away from, but if you can, it's a huge plus. You know, and be able to sing and be able to dance, you know what I'm saying? Be able to do it all. You know, that makes you a well-rounded artist, and managers love that.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And before you ask your question, I'm gonna mention the fact you shared earlier. So she's an artist who's been working on a project for 6 years, and she has not released it, Jeanine. She has not released it.
Holding it for what? Hold it for what? Oh my God, no.
I'm gonna answer your question right now. Why have I been waiting 6 years? And that leads to my question. So I'm originally a classical pianist. I studied at the Opera House, and I tried. I'm actively trying to make classical music more accessible and like more hearable and more relatable. But that's obviously not why I'm here. I'm here because I'm also a singer songwriter. But I've been at a crossroads for a really long time because I don't know how to choose, or I don't know what to choose. And I finally figured out I don't want to choose. I want to do both. But from your professional opinion, is this career suicide? If I do, yeah, two things that are completely different. The classical music world and what I do as a singer-songwriter is I'm in the indie pop or maybe alt rock. So it's two different worlds completely, and I want to do both. And I just figured out I don't want to choose, and this is why I haven't released the first 6 years. Because I had like this persona that I needed to maintain, that being the classical pianist, and I have this other personality that writes songs and sings, and like they're two different people. And should I, obviously you've seen a lot of stories and artists go from 0 to 100. So has anyone done two things that are kind of contradicting and still made it and still was successful?
Absolutely. I mean, you can, I mean, we're not, no person is one thing, right? You know, we're not monolithic. It's okay to, you know, you could be a writer, a singer-songwriter that writes songs for a punk band, just for an example, and you've had success there, you know, and but you as an artist, you know, you sing classical. Those are two entirely different, you know, ends of the spectrum. But that doesn't take away from, you know, the music that you're looking to put out, right? One shouldn't interfere with the other. What your persona that you should be concerned with and focusing on is the persona that's behind the music that you're looking to release, because that's what's really face forward. That's what's going to have a true face to it. You know, many, and this is not a bad thing, but it's the reality. Many, you know, singer-songwriters, composers are very much behind the scenes. You know, most people don't know. I mean, they can know a name, but most people don't know who's written 90% of the hit songs that have been released, you know, because there's no face really to the writer. And that's just reality. And I know, you know, many of you are songwriters, so I'm not saying that as as, you know, anything negative. It's just the reality. The artist is face forward. So it's your music that's you as an artist that's put out is your real persona.
And that's a great point too, is that, you know, they can be separate, but there is a way you could bring that classical element to the pop music that you do. Like, that sounds really cool.
Trying to like bring it together kind of thing, or
I mean, perfect example. If you look at Alicia, you know, Alicia was, you know, are not professionally trained, but Alicia, you know, she was classically trained, and she, you know, we met her. You know, I met her when she was a little older, but my business partner met her when she was 14. She was playing Bach, you know, Beethoven, like she was playing classical music. And that's how it's then incorporated into her into her project. We would never strip that down from her. It's a part of who she was, and look at who she's become.
Hello, my name is Molly, and I'm the honor and complexities. So my question is, that I'm a huge mental health advocate. So I want to know, since, artist managers are basically the extension of the artists. So we know that there are a lot of artists who have gone through mental health breakdowns, and they kind of go off radar. How does that affect their kind of performance and their fan base and their connection with the world and so on and so forth?
Okay, I'm so sorry. You know, it's not the greatest for me to hear you, so I'm going to ask you to repeat the question one more time. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Okay, so I wanted to ask, since the artist manager is an extension of an artist, so there are a lot of artists who go through mental breakdowns and they kind of go off radar. So how does that affect whether it's their mental health in general, their fan base, their career in general? How does that all affect, and how does the role of a artist manager interfere with all that?
Wow, that is a great question. So I'm first going to say that I'm a huge proponent of every human being. Forget about every artist. Every human being should have some type of support system. They should have a therapist if that's something that, you know, they can relate to. They have an outlet. They have the ability to know that they don't have to always be in motion, right? That, you know, yes, there will be managers that'll say, go, 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 go. You can't stop. You can't sit down. You're on a track. Don't stop. You'll fail. You'll fall. Okay. But if your body, your mind, your spirit is saying, I need to take a break, then you take a break, period. We are, before we're anything, we're humans first that require, you know, a number of things. We require rest. We require, you know, nourishment for our mind, body, and soul. We require love and happiness. And, you know, if you're not finding that while you're in your career, whatever phase you're in of your career, you need to stop. Hard stop. It's a hard stop. Fans will be there. The managers will be there. Everyone will be there when you're ready to come back to it. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's hard stop. It's mental and physical health first over everything.
Yeah, so in that case, if the manager is the opposite, so they're not promoting all that, would that be a kind of a red flag, which means that for example, if I'm the one who's going through that, would I need to change the manager, or I just stay with them and go through, or take the decision of just stopping?
Well, if a manager is not compassionate to anyone that is, you know, feeling that they need a time off or time down, then yeah, you need to change your manager. I mean, you know, no, there's no way that if someone says, hey, you know, I broke my leg, right? Let's say, you know, I broke my leg. Well, still, I need you to go out there and run this, you know, 40-mile marathon. Like, excuse me, you're obviously not there for my, you know, the betterment of my health. So it's the same thing if it's physical, if it's, you know, emotional, and mental is part of our physical. Why do people make that two separate things? Your mental is part of your physical. It's all one. So yes, whoever is not considerate and compassionate, they are not the one for you. Done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, this is gonna be the last question. I have a 2:30. Is
Okay.
that okay? So,
Last, no problem.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go on forever and ever. I feel like it.
I'll keep it short. Hey, team, my name is Yuri. I wanted to ask you from your own perspective, like you've dealt with a lot of artists up until now, what do you think is like scouted for in an artist? What is seeked in an artist right now? What would you think is like the artist that is more likely to come out now, or just as a young labor, a starter, this is the thing that he'll do, and this is where they'll get.
All right, so, and I'm, again, this is the connection, so I'm so sorry. Is your question that you're asking me to name an artist, or is it a trend of an artist?
No, like, within the past 2 years, we've seen like a lot of artists that really did make it in the weirdest ways ever. We have Teasel Touchdown, we have Billie Eilish with her baggy pants and t-shirts and all her hair colors. We have people with their softest voices, and so we have a lot of ideas. What would you say right now when an upcoming artist comes out? What would you say that would fast define him, or just get that out? Is it the quirky idea, or the spunk, or the music, or the trend itself, or how much money they have?
It's you know what, that's a hard question, because if I knew the answer to that, I would make 10 of them, and I would have 10 artists that would be that thing. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really hard to say what is gonna click and what, and it's your generation. It's not mine. It's your generation. You should be telling me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really hard to define, what is going to, pop, what's going to stick, what people are going to gravitate to. I've seen it. I mean, full disclosure, I'm not a fan, of the sexy reds and all that. I'm not a fan. And it has nothing to do with my age. I was young once. I get it. Trust me. And, and Akinelli and Little Kim, like those were some of my favorite artists then. If you listen to their lyrics, you'd be like, oh my God. So it's not that. It's something with that whole, I'm not gonna say a name now because it's, we're women positive, we're female positive. So I'm not going to judge. I'm just gonna say that I am so surprised that it's a thing. I'm like, are we really doing this? So yeah, it's hard to say what's gonna pop and what isn't. I just tell artists to go for what's authentic to them, and the sexy reds and gorillas, that's authentic to them, and it's working. So that's really how you look at that example of they are doing what's authentic to them, and it works. If that's not your thing, please do not go and put on a Betty Boop outfit and get on stage because you saw Ice Spice doing that. If your thing is, you know what I'm saying, something else, then you got to be who you are. So it's that is what people gravitate to. They gravitate to the authenticity of whatever it is that you're putting out. People can spot a fake 1,000 miles away. Like seriously, you're like, bro, really? Like, stop. So just be authentic.
Yeah, I highly respect that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeanine.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us and for staying over. And yeah, everyone, another round of applause for Jeanine. Bye.
We could do it again sometime. Next time.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
So I think we ended on a really great point, which I know we're way over, so we'll cap it there, but authenticity is key. If you're quirky, lean into it. If you're over the top, lean into it. If you're mellow, lean into it. But that's just your brand and who you are. And so being able to just be consistent with that, whether the comments are good or bad, if that's who you authentically are, just do it and you'll build your fan base. And also, if you want to listen to what people saying, that's fine too. If you are looking for feedback, but just knowing that like, your fans are going to come to you because they like what they see. They like what they hear and you're authentic. So if you are someone like I'm trying to think, I don't know if everyone knows Sexy Red, but Sexy Red is very controversial in the US right now, but that's who she is, or you're Adele, who has a completely different persona, like you're more mellow and it's just about the voice, but really knowing your brand and building your narrative is something we're gonna get further into, but I stress this with every artist, like, know what your brand is, know what your story is, and you gotta show up and live that every second of the day. Thank you, I know we're way over. I'm sorry for the Wi-Fi issue. I think I have a plan for tomorrow to use this, but also use this, so my brain is thinking. But thank you to everyone. We do have an assignment. If you could work on it tonight. That's in your packet with the worksheets. And then if anyone wants to stay after and have any additional questions, please feel free. Do we? Oh. Maybe we can put them all up here and then grab one on your way out. And then everyone online on Zoom, thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you all tomorrow.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, bye.